Well, I guess it's gonna kick, I guess.
And today we've got some brand, high five, spankin' new Destiny 2 news courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, revealing official information. And so...
Let's get started.
Okay, do you think people should like the video this time?
No.
Well, you're doing it on purpose! You think it's funny! I can't believe the betrayal here, guys. But anyways, first things first, what's been going on this week in Destiny 2? Well, on the Tuesday weekly reset, a few things happened. First of all, we had the launch of the Arms Week event. This is the first Arms Week since the Renegades expansion came out. This one is featuring bows. We have 3 crazy new bow volatile mods. We have 2 new weapons added to the game. If you want to know everything there is to know about Arms Week, definitely check out my video on the event linked right up above. But on the subject of Arms Week, people have discovered some pretty broken things with these volatile mods. First of all, you can combine them with the Hierarchy of Needs exotic bow. This creates a ring, and any bows you shoot through it will have additional projectiles, additional damage added to them. It's kind of the Galahorn but for bows. Well, this can go pretty crazy with Shatter Shaft because it's making a bajillion projectiles, and combine that with the Divinity as well as utilizing your Mobius Quiver Super, which is going to boost bow damage. And Sneaky Beaver here already has some clips of him absolutely melting dungeon bosses with kind of all of this stuff. So he's been posting a bunch of clips with that absurdity. And something else you're gonna want to know about is that, well, if you go over any of these volatile mods, they specifically say that they do not work in the Equilibrium dungeon. Well, here's me loading into the Equilibrium dungeon with Shatter Shaft equipped to this bow, and my bow is 100% splitting into multiple projectiles. So yeah, these volatile mods absolutely do seem to work within the Equilibrium dungeon. So keep that in mind if you still haven't gotten your clear and you want to use bows, that is an option. One other thing I want to mention, something else people have discovered, specifically I think it's most evident in the Mercury A. This is the first ever of like the new bow archetype, the slowest drawing but highest damage archetype. Well, if you use the tungsten bowstring volatile mod for this, apparently it is one-shot killing people in PvP, specifically in the hardware playlist, the medieval hardware playlist where you have to use bows or swords or glaives. But yeah, that's pretty darn crazy. And apparently with kinetic tremors, it's one-shot bodying people. Anyways, guys, aside from Arms Week, something else big happened, and that is that Zavala randomly showed up with the Peculiar Charm SMG as his Vanguard Arsenal weapon. This is the comp submachine gun. The only way to get this weapon previous to this week was to grind comp. But now you can just buy one from Zur, and he has a PvE god roll available to buy. Guys, I did a video breaking down all the different rolls he is selling and kind of what makes these rolls good. Definitely check it out, linked right up above. But don't miss that either. Definitely go down to Zavala this week. Okay, and on top of that, there was a patch that came out, fixed a lot of random issues. The thing you're going to want to know about is that it fixed the All-Star perk. This will give you now like a consistent 35% damage boost whenever you collect ammo. And specifically, if you're using the Kinetic Synthesis Seasonal Artifact perk, that is a very consistent way to get constant ammo. So definitely All-Star is worth looking at when discussing really good PvE roles going forward, so keep that in mind as well. But moving on from there, let's get to the brand new information within the TWID. Alright, so the first thing Bungie talks about is what we've already talked about in this video, Arms Week returning. They then talk about the Dark Age Hunt, which is a community challenge if you can solo complete the Warlord's Ruin dungeon with only swords, bows, or glaives. You don't have to be flawless, but if you can get that completion, you get this exclusive emblem. After that, they talk about double invasion all the way? What does this mean? All right, so they say in the Lawless Frontier, there's a strong possibility that your job will be invaded by another player. As an invader, you can usually queue into an already active job filled with 3 other players, but sometimes an invader can queue into another invader's job, resulting into a 1v1 scenario known as a double cross. Since Renegades launched, we've seen a lot of feedback about the Lawless Frontier, including feedback that there are too many double crosses occurring. We would like to address it. We are going to conduct a test next week, allowing a job to be invaded up to 2 times during each Lawless Frontier run. Our goal is to reduce the number of double cross invasions, but to better assist fire teams, they will receive 3 additional revive tokens for each invasion. So if you're in a run and revive tokens are low, an invasion can actually give you some breathing room if your team is good enough to defeat the invader. Okay, Bungie, if your team is already running out of revive tokens, they're probably not gonna like absolutely stomp an invader immediately. Anyways, to keep things tame, only 1 invader can be on the map at any given time. Okay, that would have been crazy. So they're gonna run this test from February 3rd, which is next Tuesday at reset, to February 10th, and it will be available on Grandmaster difficulty runs, the Lawless Frontier, that have already have the invasion modifier active. We're looking on your feedback. So this is really interesting. Randomly one time, guys, my game, when I was streaming, was invaded twice. It was the weirdest thing. It was just like a random accident. I've never had it happen since. I've never heard anyone else that this happened to. But yeah, like now this is certainly going to make the Lawless Frontier a bit more intense. I wonder though if it's just a little bit too late. A lot of people have gone in there and gotten the gear they want to get. Lawless Frontier is still very fun to play in my opinion, but it's pretty easy to avoid the invadable maps if you're just kind of farming gear. If you're still going after priority contracts, you will have to go into those contested zones, however. It's going to be interesting. I always thought that the 1 invasion never really caused too much problems, so 2 might be pretty intense. I wish they would increase the loot. However, if you did get invaded twice, that would make it a lot more interesting. Moving on from there, they talk about the Oath of Renegades, guys. This was a fun community event that happened at the beginning of December. I was a part of it. I was on the Totality Division Syndicate repping the Cabal mob bosses. But although the streams and the memes were amazing involving this event, everyone crapping on the other syndicates, overall, the main feedback from the community was that there needs to be some sort of in-game reward for Oath of Renegades. Well, Bungie actually did listen, and they introduced this emblem. Now, of course, the main symbol displayed is the Piker symbol because, as you can see from this chart, the Pikers got a last-minute W. This is another thing that people didn't like, and I'm not just saying that because I was on the Totality Division that was in the lead the entire time. The reason the Pikers won is that they were getting like almost 2x points for doing the same objectives because they were in last place the entire time. And then in the final week, a bunch of creators switched sides from the Totality to the Pikers. They betrayed the Totality. Bungie asked if I would do it, and I said no. I said, never in a million years will I betray my Cabal brethren. So yeah, if you like being handed a win on a platter, then you must be a Piker. Anyways, you can tell I'm not salty about it. You're going to get this emblem. Take the mantle via a code. Bungie says that's coming out later this year. Now, moving on from there, guys, we have another addition to the new player guide. This one is navigating the menu screen. All right, moving on from there, there's a big Game to Give finale live stream happening, I think right now, guys. And there is the 1,000 Hugs emblem, the very exclusive 1,000 Hugs emblem available for a donation. I think it's like a $77 donation. You're going to get the 1,000 Hugs emblem. So, people were charging $250 for that thing when the Game to Give thing first started. So head over there if you really want that emblem for a much lower price. And of course, this is all really to support a fantastic cause, helping sick kids. So, I mean, not really an overcharge of that emblem because, again, it's like it's all going to a great cause. Now, moving on from there, guys, we have this week in trials. So they say, defeat your foes and make Saint 14 proud by earning your spot to the lighthouse on the classic Midtown map. The Marlet Pulse Rifle returns as the featured weapon and has a chance from dropping from completed matches. So I think the Marlet is pretty highly sought after overall from what I've seen, so that might be an exciting one. Maybe I should hit up Walla for the carry he promised me 3 months ago and keeps ignoring my DMs. No, I'm just kidding. I ignore his. Anyways, so we're going on from there, guys. They say upcoming server testing. This is in the player support tab. I haven't seen this before. We want to give an early heads up about some upcoming server testing we'll be conducting to gather data on a minor backend change. While we wouldn't normally post about this, we anticipate this test might impact some players. So starting at 11 a.m. Pacific on Thursday, February 5th, we're going to be temporarily switching on a server setting aimed at improving our backend world server performance. During this time, you might see more guitar errors. So just keep that in mind. Don't plan any, flawless solo dungeon runs for that time, guys. They also say combat telemetry update. This was an issue with Arms Week where you just couldn't turn in your combat telemetry to 801. Now you can. There you go. Moving on from there, we have the known issues. I'm just going to have this on screen right here. And that is going to be it, guys. That's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.